there. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Andy Oshroff, and I'm the director of the Career and Employment Hub, and I also have the great privilege of being the moderator for this panel of students from our College of Management and Human Services. And so I think to begin, maybe we can just move down the line here and have folks introduce themselves, maybe your name, and what your area of study was and where your internship was. And Noah, if you want to start that.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thanks, Andy. So Noah Barney, I graduated in 2021, major was in economics, and I did a internship with UNM in their scholar program.
I'm Ashley Hayward. I'm a December graduate of this year for the business management program with a focus in risk management and insurance. And I did an internship at Cross this past summer.
Hi, my name is Rhonda, and I graduated with a self-design major this year, and I'm doing my internship this semester at elementary school.
Awesome, wonderful. And yeah, thank you so much for being a part of this today. So I think my first question where I want to begin is, why did you decide to do an internship? What was the impetus for that? What kind of began the process? And Rhonda, maybe I'll begin at the other end here. What made you want to do an internship?
Honestly, right after I graduated, I felt like it wasn't enough. I need to have more time and experience. So I decided to reapply and do the internship again for this semester.
Okay, fantastic.
For me, it was all about the kind of opportunity with the internship. I think the real world experience that you get with an internship and the connections that you can make after or during the internship can lead to kind of segues into a career. So that's why I chose to do it.
Yeah, I think I resonate with that, almost exactly. I think my major impetus, as you said, to get an internship was really the exposure to to the work itself, to find out if it's something that you're actually interested in, making those networking connections, getting something on your resume. A lot of definite benefits there for an internship. So
awesome, that's perfect. And I think it leads right into kind of the conversation about the search process and what that was like for you all. And I think maybe we can begin in the middle, but how did you go about starting? So you knew that you wanted to have this experience. Where did you begin?
So like you said, I knew that I wanted an internship. It was just kind of finding one. And I was going into my senior year. So I wanted to start looking then, just the way that my path was planning out. And I actually got an email being in the business management program, the business school. They send us emails all the time about internship opportunities. I got one from Megan Bradley about a cross internship coming up. And I was like, this is perfect. I want to do insurance and this is risk management trainee program. And I was like, it's lined up just perfect at that point.
Perfect. Hey, that's great. And yeah, maybe we'll go to Rhonda there at the end.
I also got the same thing. My advisor emailed me about it, and I just applied right away because I felt I needed it. I still have a time, so I just applied for it.
Perfect. Okay. Email works is what I'm hearing. Noah, how about you?
Yeah. So my experience was a little bit different than that. Not a big social media guy myself, but had a lot of people talking to me about the value of LinkedIn and different opportunities that might present themselves there from LinkedIn. So I actually, as a part of one of my classes, I think junior year, I had to create a LinkedIn account for that class, got that all set up. And then I actually had, I had it on my radar to secure an internship, but I had a couple of recruiters reach out with different positions that, based upon what I had plugged into LinkedIn there, they thought I might be interested in, and that kind of kicked the whole process off for me.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
So LinkedIn was the way. Got it. That is kind of a great start too. Okay, so yeah, you found the opportunity, and I'd love to dig in a little bit more about kind of what that application process was like. So, you identified the organization that you wanted to apply to. Can you help walk us through that application process? And maybe, we can start right here.
Sure. So it has been a little bit trying to recall what that was like. But I know that there were I think it was 1 or 2 rounds of interviews, maybe an interview over the phone as like an initial screening interview. And then I had, I think, a video interview because this was in the midst of COVID at the time. So everything was virtual still. And, some of those basic questions, what experiences have you had? Why are you interested in this interview, in this position? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, a couple of rounds of interviews and some questions about the organization. How about you? Similar experience or?
Yeah, pretty similar. There was 2 rounds of interviews for mine. And I sent out the initial kind of like get the interview. I sent out an email to Michelle, the coordinator for that. And it was just my resume and my cover letter. And then she got back to me. We did an interview over the phone first, and then an in-person interview. And then after that, shortly, she sent out an email confirming that I'd get the internship opportunity and it would start in May. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also had an interview, two-round interview.
Okay. Yeah. 2 rounds seems to be the way. Yeah. And what kind of questions were you asked in that?
Well, mine was mostly from the school district. So I had to meet the Portland department, and we had a Zoom meeting, and then I had to meet the USM department, and we had like connection and everything.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe different folks interviewing you, one from the school system and one from USM.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for telling me a little bit about what the interview process was like. Maybe we can move into kind of what the internship experience was like overall. So I don't know if you can recount what your first day was like. Yeah, just kind of walk me through. Okay, so you've got this internship, you've got this opportunity, and now you're starting. And maybe we can start over at the end of there.
So I'm doing the internship inside a 3rd grade classroom.
Okay.
So the first day, it was it was a little bit challenging. I wasn't expecting that, but with the mentor teacher was there and she guided me through it. And right now, so far, we co-teach. We work together to teach the classroom and everything. So I'm getting better each time. So yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
For me, our first day was a little interesting. We actually had it online for our first week
Okay.
of the internship, just due to COVID reasons. But it was kind of nice to have that at the same time, just because we were all fresh into insurance. I mean, most of us were fresh. I'm the focus of risk management insurance, so I had a little bit of background knowledge in the subject. But it was nice to be able to have that week to kind of determine what we'd like be looking at or what's asked of us. And then after that, our first actual day of in-person, it was really fun. We just kind of got to know each other, know the office a little bit, and that was a really good experience. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So my internship actually was completely virtual just because of the circumstances at the time. So my first day was interesting in that it was a little bit more fluid than that almost. They had to send me, because I was working from home, they had to send me the equipment that I needed, the work laptop, and get me all set up and plugged into their systems. And then basically, as I recall it, it was a lot of coordinating with my manager to make sure that I was plugged into what I needed to be plugged into and that I got up to speed on everything that they were doing in that department. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. A couple online. It's interesting. So you started the internship, you started the experience. Tell me a little bit about some of the projects that you were working on and what the day-to-day was like. And maybe, we can start with you.
Sure, yeah. So my internship was for Unum, but more specifically within the tax reporting group there, as a part of their scholar program. So my day-to-day was pretty operational there, handling different activities within Navalink, which is one of their claims systems, and really operating more as a support function for the team because of the temporary nature of the assignment.
Got it. That sounds great.
For me, it was more of like a dive into insurance, like I had said before. So we did presentations in our groups and stuff on things that we were learning that week. So we did some commercial, looking at commercial stuff. I did one on tornado and hailstorms, so that was really cool. We also got to travel to, there wasn't really a day-to-day, it was more of a week by week, and it was a lot of fun. We got to travel to different insurance carriers and look at them. And so that was fun to see the different perspectives from the agency side, which crosses, and then looking at the carrier side, like we went to patrons. So that was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
For me is start the whole school with the students. So I'm there with them. So I teach the lessons, I career lessons, I stay behind so I can meet with their parents. It's kind of like what the teacher do, but I'm doing it with her. So kind of interesting to see how they do it.
Okay, fantastic. So I know a lot of folks, when they're thinking about an internship experience, they're thinking about kind of who their supervisor is going to be and what their relationship is going to be like with them. And so, yeah, maybe we can start at the end here and just tell me a little bit about what it's been like kind of learning with your supervisor and what that relationship is like, and how they've kind of helped you along the way.
Honestly, I learned like better communication skills. That's what you need as a teacher, because we're gonna work together and we're gonna be there together the whole time. So communication skills is the most important thing. Like for the first day, you have to introduce yourself. She has to introduce herself to each other and build a good relationship with each other. And the second thing I learned is like the time management. We have to be flexible and like respect each other's time and work together. That's the most important thing I learned.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, communication and time management.
For me, it was a lot of fun. I had a good relationship with my mentor, my coordinator. We kind of developed this like out of work relationship just because of Maine is such a small state. So I know her from outside of life because she knows somebody and I know that somebody. So that the relationship was great. She was a great mentor, a great person. She has a lot of connections. So when we'd go visit carriers or when we'd go to different places, there was always somebody that she knew that she could introduce us to. And from insurance, you learn a lot that networking is a big deal and meeting people and creating those connections matter. So definitely learned that from my mentor. Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah, and I had a similar experience with my manager. Super helpful, super accommodative of like scheduling needs that I have, which is big because you still need to, get your education done to transition there. Really was helpful in lining up different trainings for me and making sure that I was up to speed on everything that needed to happen. Communication, I think, is a big thing in any job. So great communicator, and was able to take away some of that in my internship as well.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you've had this kind of experience or having this experience. How would you kind of connect it back into the classroom and what you were learning? Did it have a relationship with one another? How would you kind of describe that relationship between the two? And yeah, maybe we'll start right back here with you, Noah.
Yeah, so my major was economics, but my minor was risk management and insurance. So having the opportunity to do an internship for an insurance company was great, at least from a resume perspective. I'd say day to day for me, working in the tax reporting group was a little bit different than some of the stuff that I had learned in risk management and insurance in my classwork, just because of the support function there. That it's not like I'm handling claims specifically. It's more administrative stuff in the background, but definitely were parallels in like the grand scheme in terms of the company itself and different networking opportunities in the insurance industry.
Got it. Okay.
Having the risk management focus for myself, it was a direct connection, honestly. We learned so much about insurance in general through the internship. So that was awesome. Being able to put what I've learned from my insurance classes that I've taken here at USM and then putting them into the internship. I had just taken the benefits, health, life, and disability class at USM. And then I went, we got a week during our internship to go visit the benefits at Cross, employee benefits. So having that kind of like just learn and then being able to go and apply it there at that office was really fun. Just because I had the direct knowledge from that past semester fresh in my brain. But I mean, direct connections definitely from my internship to my my classes at USM.
Awesome. Thank you. And Brenda, how about you?
Yeah, it's it's similar. So I apply what I have learned from USM classes into the internship, and like being in there, like experiencing it, you will learn it from it. Like you're gonna learn it and do it.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, so that is kind of takes care of maybe the during the experience. Maybe a highlight from what it was like or what it's like. And yeah, what was kind of your favorite thing or a moment that stood out to you? And yeah, maybe we can start in the middle here.
Yeah. So one of the opportunities that we got during our cross internship, we got to travel to Presque Isle, go visit MMG Insurance. And we actually got to be a part of a video for their internship program up there.
Oh, cool.
So it was a lot of fun being a part of that and having that opportunity to work with people up in Presque Isle, as well as another insurance business in the industry. So that was a lot of fun. That was definitely my favorite because I feel like our group of interns really got to connect on that 5-hour drive there and back. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. Rhonda, how about you?
Oh, well, for me, they had a field trip last week, so I went with them. It was kind of fun.
Oh, cool. Where did you all go for your field trip?
They went to a river. I forgot the river name, but they were going there to see the dam and everything in there. It was up in Gorham.
Oh, okay, awesome. No, yeah, that sounds like a pretty good experience. And how about you, Noah?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was the line of sight that it gave me into other opportunities at the company. One thing that's really cool about the Scholars Program is that they bring in speakers and they have individuals that can talk about different opportunities at the company. And that's actually one of those events gave me exposure to the position that I landed at the company, and I was able to stay on with them, which was really exciting for me. So,
Oh, fantastic.
yeah.
So obviously there are a lot of expectations on students. You have coursework and day-to-day life and all these other things. And adding an internship can feel like a pretty big ask for students. So maybe my question for you is, was the experience worth it? Was it worth the time that you invested in having to do this whole other thing? And so, yeah, maybe Noah, can you start us off?
Yeah, absolutely. I would do it over 10 times. Super positive experience, gave me exposure to the company. It's something when you're starting out in college, it can be hard to gain traction and get work experience in a field related to what you're interested in going into. So for me, just from the resume experience aspect of it, super positive. And I was able to stay with the company, as I mentioned. So I think without that internship, I might not have ended up where I am currently. So all that to say, yeah, it was great. Absolutely.
Cool. That's great.
For me as well, it was definitely a positive experience. I would do it again. 100%. I would recommend it to any student that's interested or thinks that they're interested in insurance. Just because it's it's immersive an experience. So you get to start off and see every aspect of insurance. It was great. The connections that you make, even if you don't choose to stay, with Cross or with the company that you started, like Unum, the connections that you make that can help you get to where you want to be is really helpful as well. I also secured a part-time with Cross, as similar to Noah. So for me, it was definitely worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. Internship worth it because if you want to apply, like instead of doing the full-time job, like just take a little small view of how the work is it before applying for it. So definitely worth it.
Awesome. Thank you. So Maybe I'm mindful of time here and we're kind of running up to the end of our session. How about any words of advice for students seeking an internship or considering the opportunity? And yeah, just what would you offer to them, how to get started or whether to get started? And maybe Rhonda, we can start over on your side.
So just a few words. I say like degree alone is not enough. You need a time and experience. So just take your time and apply internship and like meet a lot of people. Make your network a little bit stronger. Like meet different people from different major, different internship. Just learn from their own experience, and you will find your own path.
Awesome, thank you.
Mine would be take every opportunity during the internship that's given to you. Just, I know it's like a busy time, especially like if you're going to school at the same time, or if you're, have another job, or life is just crazy for a lot of people. So the opportunities that you can take, definitely give 100% to them, just because it's definitely worth it. And like I said, the connections that you make, just the ability to have that opportunity, you might not have it again. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then I guess I would just lean back into what I said earlier with like putting yourself out there. So again, not a huge social media guy, but if you can connect on maybe LinkedIn or some of these other outreach platforms, or talk to the employment center, I think they have resources there for people looking for internships as well. So that would be my only advice. I'd say, go for it if you're interested in.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for taking the time and answering my questions here. Yes, the Career and Employment Hub does have a number of services that we can provide students, including how to build a great LinkedIn account, which may come in handy, and other things as well, including resume and cover letter and the like. So please check us out. But thank you to our panelists for taking the time this afternoon. It was fascinating to learn about your experiences. We really appreciate it. Our next panel is going to start in just a few minutes here, right around 1 on the nose. So please stay around, and just a hand for our panelists here. Thank you so much.